Hi, Kylie here again, and welcome to my Plan With Me additional video with my quote page for May 2021. So as mentioned in the initial video, because the pop-up took me so long to do and I had a few other things on, I had to sort of put off the quote. And it was also challenging me a little bit about what I would do, because I, again, wanted it to be something special, something a little bit meaningful for me and everything else. So I ended up doing exactly what I thought I would do in the first place, because that's how life works. And the quote itself that's going on this page is, "I believe in you." This is probably the quote that I've heard most while I've been doing circus. Adi, our trainer, and some of our other trainers use it as well. It's a lovely motivational tool. It's lovely when the professional person who is, who knows how your body is working and who knows what your strength and your abilities are, says to you, no, you've got this. I believe in you. And it can be the difference between actually doing something and not doing something. Interestingly enough, it's also something that we tend to use to self-motivate, to do this for ourselves. And we've had this discussion with Adi as well. And, it can either be, I believe in me, or, you telling yourselves that I believe in you as well. So it's a very important motivational element of circus, and I definitely associate it a lot with my circus, which is why it was always going to be the quote. But you'll notice it's in the bottom corner and it's very small, and that's because of what I've just written in the top left-hand corner, which is the 10 life lessons from Aerial Circus. So in 2016, I wrote a blog post for the Huffington Post, which I'll put the link to below as well, which is pretty much the 10 life lessons that I've gotten from Aerial Circus. And I decided I would include those on this quote page because why not? This allowed me to put a little bit more colour and movement into it, and just go completely over the top on my circus month, because it's my circus month, so I have to go over the top for it anyway. So on Monday I was playing around with my watercolours a little bit and sort of drew some of these watercolour dots and then put some trapeze sort of positions in them, and a couple of the words from, a couple of associated words, so most of them were from my article or my post, and then the others I sort of adapted and changed to fit into the space. So I liked that as an idea, and I decided that that's what I would put into this quote page. I've gone a little bit overboard on some of the watercolour, and it's bled through the pages. And the orangey reddy colour, that's perfectly okay because it's bled through to the reflections page. I'll live with it, whatever. The other colour on the right hand side bled through a tiny little bit, which I'm going to have to deal with in June, which is perfectly fine because I've stuffed quite a few bits and pieces up as I've been doing this now, and I've become a little bit less perfectionist and concerned about it. But it does still trigger my brain a little bit, so we'll see how I deal with that when we get to June. Something to look forward to. Anyway, so what I've done is I've put 10 coloured bubbles, and I'm going to go through and draw some trapeze positions and the words that are associated, that I associate with them. So the first one here is straddle hold, and it is strength, which is basically the fact that you're stronger than you give yourself credit for, and sometimes a little bit of assistance is all you need to achieve something that seems impossible. I never thought I would be able to do half the things, or probably about 80% of the things that I can do on a trapeze. So this is a very important lesson I got from it. The second one here is a front balance, and that's for the word balance. And this is something I learnt really quickly in circus. It's a metaphor that I use when I train people in life balance and those sorts of things. And that is that you need to know your tipping point in life, because balance is achieved in the moment. And it's about pushing or pulling and working that out so that you stay upright. The next one, so this is around the world. So this is momentum. And that is, if you use the momentum that you've built through achievements and connecting with others, actions will become easier. This is something that, you sort of learn a little bit. I don't do a lot of dynamic moves, but there's certainly things that I can achieve because I've learned how to use my body's momentum and how to push and pull in different ways to make things happen. The fourth one here is a gazelle, which is not a move that I can actually do on a trapeze. I like to say my legs are too short for it, but there's many reasons. I just don't think my body does it properly. And that is basically do the work and fail, which is why I put gazelle there. So over and above everything, just do the work. Failing's part of learning. You're eventually going to get there, but if you never take action, then you will never achieve it. And I still continue to try to do gazelle every now and again, even though I've never been able to successfully do it. The next one there is support. Surround yourself with the right people and tackle activities that scare you. So it becomes a really important component to have really good support around you when you're doing scary things or out of the usual things. Straddle back balance here is for focus. So focus is don't get too caught up in what you want the outcome to be. Just do the work, get the basics down, be in the moment, and you'll get there when you're ready, which is very much how circus training works. One day you can just do the thing that you've been trying for 6 months to do. Just for some unknown reason, your body finally connects into it. But if you were caught up in getting the outcome, the fact that you're constantly failing is a problem. So you'd stop. We don't think of outcome. We just think of doing the work. Trust your strength, the process, your ability to eventually get there. Also trust your gut. You generally know the decisions you need to make or the action you need to take. So just trust yourself more. I've never been a person who's lived in my body, so trust and how much I trust my body now has become a really important thing for me. This one is courage. Be brave enough to live outside your comfort zone. Have the courage to take on your dreams. So for some reason, circus, well, trapeze particularly was something I'd always wanted to try. And at 43, quite overweight, this really was a challenge for me. So yeah, it took quite a bit of courage and continues to, particularly when I do performances and those sorts of things. This one is a dolphin, and it is permission. So give yourself permission to be ridiculous, especially when you need to make yourself vulnerable to do that thing. Again, 43, overweight, probably shouldn't have been sticking myself in active wear and throwing myself around on a trapeze. I felt ridiculous for quite a while initially, but I've gotten to the point where I love it. It gives me so much pleasure. It gives me so much joy and peace that who cares? And the last one here is flexibility. If you're able to maintain a flexible attitude to who you are, then you can change more readily and take on new challenges. And this has been a real mindset shift for me, not only in my body, but mindset. So this is my quote page for May. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed it.